Welcome to another video, ladies and gentlemen. Again, the first of many new types of videos that I will be doing on this channel. Again, on camera kind of guy. So let's dive straight in. I'm going to be talking about Doctor Strange 2 and I've had time to sort of process all the things that happened in that movie. So without going any further, spoiler warning, you have been warned. I will be talking spoilers from the next 5 seconds onward, and I'm literally just going to be touching upon how I feel about the movie and why I think, or not why I think, just my disappointments, and I don't want to spread any negativity and you're being toxic. It's just me being honest, and I think this is a problem that Marvel has had right across the board. And for me, it's just a chance for me to get my grievances out there. So spoiler warning in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, right. So I want to touch on the Illuminati first of all. From the very jump that these guys were brought into the Doctor Strange trailer when it dropped, you had Professor X, Patrick Stewart, and then everyone was going, "Ah!" I immediately felt caution. Because if you know anything about the Illuminati storylines, if you know anything about the House of M, if you know anything about Scarlet Witch, you knew they weren't making it out of this movie. You knew they were done. And my biggest problem was in the run-up to this. I knew they were going to die. It's how it was done. And this is what I was saying and what I was worried about. Just because it's in the comics, it doesn't mean it can translate well onto screen. Comics are rebooted several times for a reason. They're not synonymous with films and thematic storytelling. And to me, this movie felt like a fucking fever dream, if I'm going to be honest. It felt like, oh my God, we can just go see Wanda killing people. Like, that's what it is. It didn't feel authentic to Wanda's character, in my opinion. It kind of came out of nowhere. WandaVision didn't set her up to be that. It teased it and it alluded to it with its post-credit scene. But Wanda's character is not an out-and-out villain. And the motivation that Wanda has in this film, it's wonky. It's wonky. It's not something that I can invest in. It's not something that I can believe. And I've seen people online compare it or make it akin to Anakin Skywalker, Walter White from Breaking Bad. Like, whoa, slow down. You're talking about cream of the like. This is my problem. Like 10 out of 10s and 1 out of 10s just thrown around nowadays. They don't mean anything anymore. Just because Scarlet goes around killing people, oh, she's bad. Like that doesn't mean she's on the level or caliber of these two characters. Get that comparison out of here. And then the other comparison was that her dying at the end was like Dr. Octavius in Spider-Man 2. Yeah, okay, if you want to say it like that, it was like it. But it was in no way, shape, or form in any vein to Dr. Octavius. Nothing like it. Just because it visually looks like it doesn't mean it is it. Okay? Let's just put that out there. And this is the Last Jedi of the MCU. And what I mean by that is this is Elizabeth Olsen's best acting performance. Like, she acts her bollocks off in this movie. Like, her performance in this movie is absolutely mint. Brilliant performance. Honestly, if superhero movies and shows were taken a bit more seriously, she could be up for an award. But we know what's going to happen. That's not going to happen. You know, superhero movies are never going to get that kind of credit. But we know, and that's the main thing. And the reason I compare it to The Last Jedi is Mark Hamill's best performance in Star Wars is arguably in The Last Jedi. His acting in that movie is strong, but it's also his most controversial character take. And you can go in any comment section, any Reddit page, any YouTube video. There is a 50-50 split in the comment section of people who really love it, really hate it. Now, where do I fall? I'm 50-50. I'm 50-50. And that's how I felt with Luke in The Last Jedi. It's exactly how I felt. Where it's not what I would have done at all. It didn't feel earned. It didn't feel organic. It's not something that I would believe. But at the same time, there are some cool elements there. Like, I can give it that. There are some cool elements. And Scarlet Witch is a very... You can do a lot visually with that character. But going back to my original point about the Illuminati, regardless whether the MCU makes this film look better upon reflection, they've made the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 look better upon reflection, and Spider-Man 3. So you can't use that as the quantifying factor. This movie will always have the same issues. And for me, the biggest problem I have with the Illuminati is it felt like they were put in there just to be killed off, just to be, you know, and the way that they all died was stupid. It was stupid. You have Reed Richards, right, on the Illuminati, the council that oversees the multiverse. They protect the multiverse. So this arguably could have been the smartest version of Reed Richards to have ever lived, right? Regardless of what fucking earth he's on. He literally tells Wanda how to kill Black Bolt or how to beat him. He says, "Be careful, Wanda. One word from Black Bolt and you'll be killed." Something like that, you know, by his mouth. And she goes, "What mouth?" And then he's like, right? And then he's out. He's dead. And then Mr. Fantastic does this. And while these two are dying, like while these two are dying, okay, you have Maria and you have Peggy standing there on the sides like this. And then they go, I'm like, what the fuck is that? The whole time you're doing this fucking night commercial, you could have saved these two, or you could have at least helped Mr. Fantastic, and it would have been a 3-on-1. You screwed yourselves. Like, this is what I'm on about. It's incompetence. It's incompetent writing just to kill them off, to make them look stupid. Oh, but it's a variant. Like, get that shit out of here. I don't care. It's still the character. How would you feel? Okay, right. Let's do the reversal. Imagine Robert Downey Jr. comes back to play Tony Stark one last time. He comes back, right? He plays Superior Iron Man. Just for instance, I know Tom Cruise was rumored, but let's just say, for instance, that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to play the role. Just for devil's advocate. Let's say he's killed off stupidly, and that's the last time you ever see him. Oh, but it's a variant. Would you feel good about that? No, you wouldn't. And anyone who says they do, you're lying. You're absolutely lying. You wouldn't feel good about it. This variant excuse can be used as an excuse for stupid decisions. And I'll link it to the DC universe with the Arrowverse. Now, I'm someone that actually really enjoyed the first few seasons of Arrow and Flash, and there was cringy campiness in there, but it was okay. You know, we're watching grown adults in spandex. Like, come on. But where it started to fall short of the mark was Arrow killed off, spoilers, they killed off the Black Canary. And when they realized their mistake, they brought her back instantly by saying, oh, she's alive on Earth 2. And that's what you run into. You cheapen death. You take away the gravity of death in the universe. It's like Yinsen in the first Iron Man saying to Tony, don't waste your life, Stark, and then dying. And it's emotional. It's like, man, this is the one who set Tony up on his hero's journey. Imagine they just brought him back the next day. That's what the multiverse is essentially going to start doing. And Secret Wars, no doubt it's coming. That's going to be fun, and I'm going to enjoy that. But the problem I have is that you've got to tread lightly with this multiverse stuff. You can't just do stuff for the sake of... Like, if you take the fact that multiverse is a concept, if you remove multiverse as a concept out of Marvel, people would say this is lazy. People would say this is cheap. People would say this is synthetically created for no other reason than to just do stuff. And it wouldn't fly in any other movie or franchise, but because it's Marvel and the MCU, everyone gives it a pass. And I love the MCU. I do, but it's not the first time they've done stupid stuff. Crossbones was wasted. Bloody Taskmaster. Do I even need to go into that? The Mandarin. Like, there's been a lot of Phase 1's and 2's villains were very one-dimensional. Like, do I need to, you know, bring up some MCU history here? Like, it's not perfect the way everyone would have it believe. But the way the Illuminati were treated in this film, I don't like it. I don't like it. And I gotta be real. I feel like a lot of people aren't keeping it up. Aren't keeping it a buck. They aren't keeping it 100. They're just saying it because, oh, it's cool to go and see Wanda kill people. But then they'll go and, you know, rag on movies that do the same kind of thing. Like, it makes no sense. You see how the goalposts start moving? And I've seen Wanda stands, quote unquote, get upset that Wanda didn't get justice. No, you're damn right she didn't get justice. She got away with it. She got a cop out again. She ran away from her problem again. Like the third, fourth time now. Like I gave her a pass in the earlier shows and movies because one, she was a kid. Two, she was, she was lost. She lost her brother. She lost Vision. I gave her a pass. But then she decided to enslave an entire town for a month. Oh, feel sorry for Wanda, right? Okay, feel sorry for Wanda. Even though her kids aren't real, her husband's dead. And what she inevitably leads with or leaves with is a version of her husband that gets reincarnated. And her kids, she learns that they're alive in the multiverse. So she ends up winning, in my opinion. Now, this movie, Wanda's cringy lines of, I'm not that, I'm a mother. Ugh! Oh, God. Yeesh. Ugh. Oh, dear. Yeah. You're a great mother that scares your own kids. But, like, how I would have had it pegged or how I would have done it is this incursion that is being set up in the MCU. This can be used to bring the other version of Wanda that we saw in the film over to our universe and bleed the two universes together. And what you do is in that, maybe that version of Wanda, her dad isn't from Sokovia, her dad's Magneto. Like, that's how you can make this look better. And I understand it's part of the process and it's part of the plan. But man, the way she was treating Wong, I don't know how anyone can watch that movie and not feel sorry for Wong. And everyone's on about Wanda this, Wanda that. Can we give a raise a toast to Christine in this movie? Christine was the goat of the movie, not Wanda. Wanda was just on a mat. And then that leads me to my next point. This movie is called Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange, not Scarlet Witch. Doctor Strange. There are rumors and reports of her getting like a solo project. Right, one, she's already had a show. She's already hijacked Doctor Strange's movie. Why couldn't you just give her own movie without doing that? Like, to me, it makes no sense. And speaking of, this movie is wrong. Is titled wrong. It's not Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness because there's no multiverse here. They go to 3 universes and that's it. That's it. That's not a multiverse of madness. That's the wrong title. It should be called Doctor Strange, The Rise of the Scarlet Witch. That slaps. And I'm all about titles reflecting something that goes on in the movie, driving it home. And this is, again, why I compare it to The Last Jedi. Because in The Last Jedi, one problem I have is that Luke isn't the Last Jedi. You had something there, Disney. You should have gone all in. Luke should have absolutely been the Last Jedi. 100%. They didn't go all in. And they made Rey the Last Jedi or Leia or whatever. And then Rey became something new in the next film. You should have done it there and then. That was the moment the cord was cut. And that's why I related to this. Because the title is not reflective of what goes on in the movie at all. And that leads me to my next point. Doctor Strange was nerfed. Oh, God, he was nerfed. Like, in the final fight, yeah, he came through. But look at the way Doctor Strange fights in his own movie. Look at the way Doctor Strange fights Thanos. Look at the way Doctor Strange, deals with the Black Order. There's so many instances in the MCU. Look at the way Doctor Strange, in the Thor Ragnarok cameo scene, is throwing Thor around like that. Where's that power gone? And this is a problem I have with the MCU overall, is they will nerf characters constantly to benefit the story. And I get it. I can intellectualize it and I can understand why. But at the same time, I can't lie. It's a bit frustrating. It's a bit kind of like, well, did you need to do it that way? Could you have not done it this way? Could you have not done it another way? To me, it feels very synthetically created. And I left this movie feeling, I didn't know how to feel. It was just like a strange, like, this is me going on a bit of a rant. Like, it's, and I don't want people to get the wrong impression of it all. Like, it's not like I hate the movie or I loathe the movie. There is a lot of good to this movie. Elizabeth Olsen's performance, the acting by everyone was fantastic. The visuals, the horror element, the kills, and they really pushed the PG-13 rating. So if they're doing that in this movie, I have confidence that Blade will be fine. But it's just the way this movie plays out, man. I just can't get down with it. Like, it's not going to be one in my rewatch Rolodex anytime soon. Like, you know, it's because I've spoke about it on Kings of Pop Culture with my Sunday brothers, but you know, I haven't done like a standard video where I just talk about it. And for me, you know, I just feel like I want to be honest and I want to be real. And it's a solid 6 or a 7 for me. Like, anyone that says this is an 8 or a 9, like, if you think that, then, you know, hey, all power to you. I mean, I think Revenge of the Sith is one of the best Star Wars. Like, we all have our shit, you know. It's just an opinion. But to me, it's a very feeling. I left feeling very sticky. And it doesn't bode well for Thor: Love and Thunder for me. It really doesn't. There's like an element where it's kind of just like I'm actually concerned for what's coming next. Like I'm not feeling good about it. I'm feeling a bit, you know, apprehensive of where we're going, and I don't like feeling like that. But we'll have to wait and see. But guys and girls, jump in the comment section down below. Let me know if you agree with anything that I raised up in this video, and do you have the same kind of feelings on this movie? And how did you feel? And to those who love this movie, to those that, you know, to those who love this movie, I'm just fascinated. Why is it that you genuinely love it? Like, I'm just curious. Like, because then, you know, that's how you learn. If you see a different perspective to how someone else sees it. But for me, very and Phase 4 overall, yeah. You know, it's been okay, but I mean, you know, not 100%. But ladies and gentlemen, jump in the comment section down below, and just before I end this video, I'm gonna play you a nice little. Oh, I might play you a clip from Batman.
Show him his head. Come on. Open your eyes.